and welcome. If this con job virus is as potent and contagious as is hysterically trumpeted around the clock by mainstream media, then certainly sensible precautionary measures are required. But the operative word "if" becomes increasingly significant by the hour. In lockstep with an exponentially growing body of sceptical observers, I require evidence demonstrating that the official narrative of panic-driven fear-mongering has basis in fact. Well, it doesn't. I won't belabor you with corroborating medical or technical information that's much better presented by others, but rather critically examine the bigger picture, wherein all relevant data points significantly differ from the official panic-driven storyline. Aside from this salient point, it's established beyond doubt that nothing coming from mass murdering organised crime of government is either trustworthy, remotely authentic, or ever implemented for the greater good. To the contrary, as their multifaceted genocide assaults the global community on all fronts, while this media-inflicted hysteria crashes the economy, threatening to kill more people than any virus, regardless of real or imaginary potential. Moreover, using computer models to calculate infection and death rates cannot provide accurate or reliable data pertaining to constantly changing circumstances, most especially when leading virologists, epidemiologists and relevant medical personnel assert the con job virus as being orders of magnitude less dangerous than seasonal flu. Manipulated psychological stress now prevails over quantifiable science and observable fact, wherein hyper-maintained fear overwhelms reason to the degree of inciting mob-induced hatred of those questioning grossly inaccurate WHO and mainstream media reports. In countries around the world, alternate news reporters are continually revisiting and videotaping hospitals, seeking to verify unsubstantiated mainstream media horror stories of runaway infection and escalating death rates. Not one single aspect of these alarmist reports can be verified, with no contraindications whatsoever. In marked contrast, many hospitals conspicuously feature deserted emergency rooms and long lines of empty ambulances doing absolutely nothing. Rapidly assembled and fully equipped virus test centres sit embarrassingly devoid of activity, with confused and agitated staff declining to answer questions from citizen journalists. In spite of these unmistakable signals of another massive globalist hoax, police-state tyranny obliterates the remaining shreds of constitutional protection and civil rights. This wholly unwarranted and deeply disturbing situation now surpasses the most violently oppressive efforts of Stalin, Hitler and Pol Pot. Unbelievably, the global prison of absurd social distancing and needless self-isolation is voluntarily entered into by the vast majority who are emotionally shocked and mentally paralysed by unjustifiable fear. I'm personally convinced this con job virus hoax is deployed as a smokescreen diversion to cover the pre-planned economic demolition. Even to the casual observer, the balance of probabilities asserts this scam is far removed from being the end of civilization threat hysterically promulgated by mainstream media, especially citing the massive and rapidly expanding disconnect between fevered propaganda and what's actually happening on the ground. Just check the rapidly growing online video catalogue exposing and disproving the panic meme at every turn. The globalists' unexpected loss of control in France, inflicted by the Yellow Vest movement in Hong Kong with the economically crippling People's Revolt, and the many other sovereign nations rising up against the encroaching New World Order demanded their urgent response. The pressing circumstance pushed them into reacting earlier than planned with this 9/11 style of false flag assault. Experts report the weaponized virus had not yet been bioengineered to its full gain of function capacity that could have wiped out countless numbers, if fully refined for its diabolical purpose. An increasingly popular QAnon hypothesis suggests it was clandestinely released early by the White Hats so as to thwart the unthinkable consequences of a perfected bioweapon. Now, I have no way to confirm this for you one way or another, but tracking the timeline of a disintegrating official narrative that is force-fed from a source of malicious, anti-human lies, it appears ever more likely. If so, then perhaps this can be seen as the long-awaited light at the end of the tunnel. Well, let's hope. Thank you for watching.